So welcome everyone. Marvin. Thank you so much for sitting in my class today, and I cannot wait for your feedback. I'm very excited about it. So with the original lesson plan 1, I was unable to follow through with it just because due to the rising COVID case numbers recently here in Taiwan, our school, we have had to switch to online teaching within the last week, and we're only online for 1 week. But yeah, so I've had to record and change my lesson plan accordingly. So feedback. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 So so basically my pictures are I had too many words and my pictures are too small on my slides. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I started just like very casually thinking like, oh, how are you guys, blah, blah, blah. And then I started, okay, welcome everyone. And I was like, okay, everyone, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And then show me the emojis. So then I kind of did it twice. So I should probably do it at, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. Be, yeah, I think then maybe I should just keep my camera off and then just wait for them. And then like we start and then I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then how are you? But I mean, doesn't make it seem like less genuine. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's start, blah, blah, blah. Hi, how are you? That's just what I'm worried about because I do care about them, you know, when they're coming in one by one or like asking them if they want to share something like Jessie, right? She just wants to talk about how her day was. And then later on, then I want to kind of force everyone to share about how they're feeling. Sorry. Sorry, hello, Irene. Okay, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. The same, the same. Okay, thank you. Bye. Yeah, sorry. I'm here. I'm all yours. Flow. Mm. Oh, or maybe for next time, I can just casually ask the kids, and then when it's emoji time, then I will like specifically call out students' names. You know what I mean? Like Jeffrey, he won't really share unless I call his name. So maybe. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. And only for a week as well. I mean, we were so good last year, right? From May, June, July, August, we were doing it, and we were like so good. And then it's just like we only have 1 week to do it online, and then have to like refigure out Zoom and like poll functions. It's different. The Zoom browser is so different, and that takes up so much time. But just it's, mhm. Like actually next week. I think we might have to do hybrid because you saw like in our class already 3 kids they have to stay home for the next week or so. So I have been looking in and yeah, it's just like each school, like they all have a different rule, and then each class has a different thing going on. And I mean, Bonnie's already been at home for what, a week now, over a week, and so she asked her mom asked her school teacher, and we got a message today. So her school teacher's like, no, you need to stay home until the 20th. So she has to stay home for like another week, but the rules are 3 plus 4. But each class is yeah, each class is doing their own thing, so it's quite yeah frustrating for just trying to figure everything out. But no, okay, yeah, that's beside the point. We did it yesterday. I'm gonna just I'm going to just edit the video. Um, can you start off with the negative critique point? Okay. Oh really? Okay. I'm gonna cut this last part out. I did send them into breakout rooms, and that's why Jessie was smiling because I put her, Vienna, and I put her, Jessie, Vienna, and Jimmy in one room, and like when I was naming all their names out in the breakout rooms, you could see Jessie's face was like, um, yeah, it was pretty cute. Mm. Oh, okay. So you liked so maybe you felt like I didn't do the writing activity sooner. So do you feel like it was more like too much lecturing, too interactive, too many activities for a specific part, and not enough writing parts? So so would you? So would you say I need to do more writing activities? So for example, like having another lesson just for writing activity, and then also having the writing activity sooner. Oh, big. Oh yeah. So maybe utilize the chat box more, right? Using more writing activities and more specifically on topic. Um, yeah, it's just I feel like today we had a few issues, and we also didn't get to dance. You know, we had a few technical issues. We didn't get to dance, and then I was just getting phone calls from other teachers. At the same time, it was just today. I don't know what happened. You know, so actually today I wanted to dance with them, so I actually got the HDMI ready on the big screen, but we didn't get to do that. So and lyrics, you saw that I cut it in half because we were running out of time already, and usually I do finish the whole lyrics because the next class was coming in. So yeah, it's an interesting first lesson. It takes time. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And is there anything else? It's a new skill. It's a new skill we have to learn. They're not useless. It's just a little bit hard to transfer. Mm, mhm. Thank you. Thank you. Cynthia, let's see. Because I specifically chose something easier that I knew she could possibly answer. But my issue is because when I was doing the thumbs up, you know, thumbs down activity, she kept giving me a thumbs up. You know, give me 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so she kept giving me like thumbs up, and I think it's also a little bit difficult for me to tell whether she actually understands it because she's also so quiet. And then right after our class, she has a next class, and so it's kind of hard to just. And also, I have a next class as well, or the teachers and the students, we all have our own classes. So with Cynthia, I want to do her as my case study for the case study presentation. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you. I think because there's because I think it's because they're so young they'll still listen to what we ask them to do. Because actually with the older kids, like I will ask them 100 times in the class in the VC to turn on their cameras, but they will just not do anything and they'll be watching. You know, like Zoe, you know, like a really good student in class. She's great. She listens to a teacher, but then online, I remember last year she was literally just watching TV. The TV was obviously on, and she had her camera on, and she wasn't even paying attention to the class. You know. So I think I'm lucky in that sense that they still listen to me. They're young enough to, you know, still be scared of the consequences. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And is there anything interaction? Yes, sir. I'm making notes. And is there anything else that any other feedback, comments, anything I can work on for next time, other than the ones that you've told me? I I think for me, it's been a year. You know, it's been almost a year since we did online teaching. So I was just a bit worried that I'm gonna forget, you know, things that we were gonna do, like what I was supposed to do with like a certain slide. And then, so I think I just ended up like cramming everything in. And then also because they're a little bit older, and in case I send the PowerPoints to them, at least they can see the full sentences and understand what I wanted from them. You know, can are you able? Oh, so when I was sharing my screen, I shared the PowerPoint. So I would click onto the app portion. Uh, the comment section. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of it because I think with me, I'm still. I mean, this is our first lesson with them online, so I was just worried because I move my things around all the time on my screen. And today, because I was recording it, so I tried not to move it around so much. But then it's just when for example, when I minimize a tab, and then for example, like Spotify or something, so I'll minimize the Spotify app, and then when I need music time, I'll maximize it. But then I was just worried that it will jump out onto the share portion of screen. You know what I mean? So I guess I need to put my slides on just one side, right, and then move the other things around. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. So were my slides too small then when I was sharing? Because I can't see exactly what you guys were seeing. Because for me on my screen, it looks actually pretty big. You know how in the beginning I was asking, hey, can you guys see, is this okay, the size? And then when I had the like gallery view, it was like kind of blocking everything, but I wasn't sure how much you guys saw. But then you said, oh, it was a little small. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, and then so I tried to adjust it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, no, for sure. I think I'll definitely try that for my next lesson. And is there anything else? I tried to include you. I tried to include you. I even called out your name. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we're so like I was just in a rush because I could see the next class, the students for the next class. I saw that they were coming in, so I totally forgot about that. Would you like me to give you a clue? It's kind of almost like a triangular shape. No. How is that triangular? What? Maybe I should send you my video link. I did. I did. Sophia was like, oh, can I go watch the video now? I'm like, nope. Would you like me to tell you the answer? I think it's specific to Taiwan. I think I think it's specific to Taiwan because I've only ever had it in Taiwan. Mm, yeah. Yeah. It's not apple, it's a wax apple. So actually, it was just because the other teacher, she was messaging in the chat box, and because I was recording the screen, so I didn't want any names or information to pop up on my screen record, and that's why I was getting them to like fill in the chat box. That's why you were like that's so off topic. It's got nothing to do with our lesson today. Like, why is she suddenly starting the lesson off with this? No, yeah, my Zoom function I don't allow recording. Yeah, no, I set it in my browser, so you can't record it as Zoom. And also with Zoom, basically, I think I recorded once, and it was for one of the assignments. And when I uploaded it in, when I handed it in, half my face was cut off. I don't know why. Yeah, and I just figured, you know what? If I'm gonna just record the whole thing, I might as well record everything to show what actually goes on behind the scenes. So if I'm gonna hand this in, and maybe future cohorts, if they're looking at this, they'll be like, oh, this is actually how busy teachers are when we're actually teaching online. But yeah, congratulations! I'm gonna give you a party emoji for guessing. No, for the wax out. Yeah, okay. And is there anything else? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Thank you. Muchos appreciate. Oh, okay. Let me stop recording. How do I? Oh. Okay, so our lesson plan for video recording, there's no audio sound on the mentor's end and on the student's end because I was using AirPods, so it recorded my sound but not their sound. So we will do a quick recap and an overview of the entire lesson plan for video.
We'll try to.
So here's the recording, and then you can just like critique and just stop me wherever.
Yeah. So what I will just say in the beginning now, before we go over every slide now. So what like a big critique, a point that I had was that you just had way too much text on many slides, not enough pictures. So I'm not going to say that now on every single slide. I'm just going to say it now. It's just pictures are not big enough when they're there, and just too much text overall. It's a little bit just like
even for older students, less text.
Yes, even for adults. For like I when I used to do my big presentations with business. Like other businesses and big companies, like the less text you can use, the better. So just keywords, if at all. If you can say it with pictures and say one word with it, that's basically the best. But sometimes, of course, you have to write a little bit depending on the activity. But overall, we will try to just have big pictures, not too many, just some like a picture that you can see. It's not overloading. So when you look at it, your brain is still capable of listening to also what the speaker says.
But even for older ESL students, like wouldn't you want them to see more words and more sentences? Like the full grammatical sentence structure on the slides. And then it would just, I guess, in one sentence per slide, but there might be one too many slides and one PowerPoint.
I get what you're saying. Just overall, like if you have too much text on the slide, then your brain, especially like a student's brain, they're like it's maybe not their favorite topic. They're like, or it's just they don't have a great day. So then they sit there and like whoa, like that's just like looks like a million sentences. It's just a wall of text, and they're like, oh, okay, just. So like that's like your instructional strategies. This is just something that they probably don't even care about it all. It's not so important for them to know about it, and especially not to read about it.
Right.
So you don't need to show it. Like if you want to tell them, that's cool. But like otherwise, they're like, even I as an adult, I look at the slide and I'm like, well, like this is a lot. So like with what you have there, you would expect now the speaker, the teacher, to talk like forever, just because you like there. What's the rule? Like 10 to 30% of what you want to say is like on the slide in text. Like so, like it's really just like if you have like one word on the slide, then you speak like maybe for like 30 to 60 minutes per slide.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Even as adults, because I remember for Module 6, that's the whole backward design curriculum map, the unit plan, the lesson plan, so the red folder that I gave you. Like, I remember our instructor's slides is just filled with words and words. And when I looked at it at 9 a.m., because I'm not a morning person, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're like, you lose all will to study. You're just like, you look at it and you feel like overwhelmed, and then that's just that. So you would try to stick with nice pictures. They're supposed to be big so that you don't have to like just focus too much on the picture, and then just some keywords.
So maybe
the rest you say, you explain the keyword basically.
So then maybe it's just telling them instead of writing it. That's what you would recommend.
Yeah. So like here in for that slide for like higher level students, you would be like probably the 21st century skills. I would take like a full slide for them where like the title is 21st century skills, and then you could like quickly be like, okay, critical thinking. And then all of them could actually basically be a slide, right? With like critical thinking, and then you explain in one sentence what does it mean. Next, like creativity, what does creativity mean? Next, like collaboration, then you explain in like a couple sentences what does that mean, and then so on and so on. Right?
I guess how I do my PowerPoints, maybe I need to like change it and adapt it, because I think in my mind it's just like every lesson I just want to hit like 20 slides. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if it's like more than 20, it's just like too many slides, and then so maybe that's why I just keep cramming everything into like one slide, so I get less slides.
Yeah, so the idea is that like we're like what. This is also how I learned it back in school, but that was obviously like 20 years ago, so that's not
30.
Well, 30 years ago when I was born, but yeah. So this is a worksheet basically, right? With that much text load as a worksheet. So what you do in the presentation, you really have just like when I used to do presentations, like I had like 200, 300 slides for like 20 minutes of a presentation. But just click, because you just only have one sentence per slide, but for every sentence that you say, you have a keyword to show or a picture and keyword, and you just like click. It doesn't make any sense if you like later then want to print it out for someone to like look through it. That's not good. That doesn't work. But for presenting, it's just really good. Well, actually, like I created presentations for like last summer, right? And also like it was like kind of a middle thing where I didn't have like 200 slides, but I still had like I think like quite a lot of slides.
Quite a bit of slides.
Yeah. So and just like I was trying to reduce text to what is really necessary.
But I think for someone who's not taking that lesson like every single day, when they take a look at the slides, they really have to know the topic to be able to understand it and talk about it.
Yeah, so like if you then would want to pass the slide on to someone who like maybe missed the class, or another teacher who is supposed to teach the class with your slides, what you would be doing, and then you would be just throwing all the things that you want to say into the comment section, so that when like later someone looks through, they see the slide and then they can read what you said.
Okay, that's an interesting way. I don't know, back in uni, like in our psych classes, it would just be like maybe an hour or 2 hour lesson, and we just have like 4 pages or A4. Like I'd always print out the slides in advance, and then like each one page I have like 6 slides, and there's only like 4 pages, and then there were like 0 pictures, and it's just like key definitions.
Yeah, our professors would do the same. Right. But how much do you actually memorize from that lesson just from looking at the slides? Zero, literally.
Yeah.
Because so like real slides, they're meant to like. Because why do you even use them if they create them in a way that no one can remember anything? So why would you even use them and not just talk, right?
Because I think back in uni it was just like the key points and key concepts were on the slides, and they just like talked more about it in detail. And then if you didn't understand it, I'd just go back to the recording and search for that specific slide.
Yeah.
I think. But I don't remember like pictures, I don't remember anything.
No, like it's an easy thing. If you like want to explain a concept, you just like copy paste from the full definition into it, and sometimes that makes a lot of sense. But overall, like even that you could see like for me, the professors who like never actually work in their field, but always were professors, their slides were like horrible. And the people who actually used to work in that field, their slides were much better, so you could actually memorize. And that's really like So overall, I think just reduce.
Okay, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Well, yeah, if you set it up in the correct way, like that's what I used to do like last summer too. I created one, I reduced what I needed, and then I reused it and recycled all the time.
Yes, I remember. I was like, didn't you do this last week? Yeah, just wait for it now. But because like, I mean, those topics, I mean, I learned it back in school, so I kind of knew about it, without having to look through the lesson plan in detail or anything. But then I realized that if it was another teacher, they'd have to really restudy the whole thing, because in a lot of your slides were just like pictures, and like the sentences were like short.
Yeah. Yes. So my slides were not created to like pass them on to someone without
understanding the topic.
Yeah. No, they were made for me to be able to present it to students in the most efficient way.
I liked what the we do examples I liked how they used words like theme park, cinema. Those words are from their movers book. So instead of just saying movie theater, they were like movie theater, and then they typed in cinema. So I like how they knew like two words that meant the same thing. So that was kind of cool.
Coffee store, yeah.
And they managed to, follow the instructions correctly. So that was nice.
Yeah, I think that was actually that was a pretty good activity. Also, it was just the picture was just a little
too small
to me actually. But like overall, I think that was a good good activity. I like that one.
This one, the favorite photo, I thought was really funny. That's really my favorite photo because I think it's so funny. I was like, just be bad students, the worst students you can be. And then so they were doing everything that they're not allowed to do.
It's funny where their mind went.
Yeah, everything they're not allowed to do. That's really funny. Yeah. And they will pick that one, and then their favorite photo.
Favorite pictures, yeah.
So that was nice talking about it. They always get she and he confused because in Chinese it's pretty much the same. You can use it interchangeably. Let's start recording. The Cambridge photos to practice their speech and oral skills. Talking about the pictures, finding the differences, using descriptive words. Then the airport, the luggage ones. I like this one because it's been too long since we've traveled here in Taiwan. So I'm excited to travel in July.
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel very excited. It's like 2 weeks and then I'm off on holiday. Well, not really. I'll bring my laptop because I still have assignments to do and VC meetings to do.
No, so overall, I like in that lesson. I like the activities. I really like the activities a lot, and they really worked out really well. All the kids, I remember to be like they were like really engaged, and they all had something really like thoughtful to say.
Breakout rooms, they were mostly on task, and assigning them roles was good. Like Jeffrey was a note taker, so he was focused. Else he would just be
Did
like.
that really work out though? Because I wasn't in the breakout room, right?
Yeah, you went in the breakout room.
I was just like in the main room still.
Yeah, and I was jumping around. But Jessie and Vienna, they were speaking Chinese. Surprise. And then they realized that I was in, and they switched to English.
So annoying. Their English is really good enough to have a conversation. They could totally do it.
Yeah. And then here's all the SEL, and then the exit tickets, and then the lemon tree one.
That activity later on, I totally stole from you.
What? Which one? Lemon tree?
The song activity. I told you I was like, oh yeah, I could do that, and then I did it like every lesson.
With all of them?
With A1, A2, with the level of level 5 and 6.
But you do sing with them, no?
Yeah, so like what I later did was like not singing. I would just like pick a song and then like make them like read the lyrics and then find like certain words or like depending on the level, find like words that they know or ask them what that means, but just like analyze or read the lyrics later on. But it was like, oh yeah, like I'm online, I can just easily play a song on Spotify. And
oh, so you stole that from me?
Yeah.
Oh, because the Spotify, how like one time you were like sharing it and I messaged you. I was like, like where did you get it? Like that was so cool. You were just sitting there, you weren't moving your mouse or anything, and then. Like each line, whenever the song came out, it would just like
the first time I googled the lyrics for the song, but then the other time I opened Spotify and I noticed there was this little button that just has the lyrics. I was like, what? So I clicked on it and like it just shows you the lyrics for like I don't know how many songs, but like for most songs it shows you the lyrics. And,
since then when I asked you, I did still that.
Yeah, but the original idea, like I liked your activity so much that I just turned like 10 minutes of my class every day into like DJ Marvin and just play music with everybody, and I just like stopped and like everybody now let's find the word. But where's the word but, where's the word son?
I like this activity. That always usually quite on task. But I thought you did do that last year. I swear you did.
I might have, but like I forgot about it. Like there are some activities.
Yeah, there's some activities where like I forgot about it, you remember, and I remember you forgot.
It's just been too long, and then like.
Yeah, because I remember like L1 and L2s, I did it with them, or maybe you did it with them. I can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah. No, I liked it, and also like talking about it and using the 5 Ws to talk about it, and then getting them to find the answers. So after like the whole singing and lyric analysis, I think that was a cool activity. I like that activity.
Yeah, no, it's a good one, especially for online. Like. Loosens it a little bit up.
And then at the end I allowed them to go into their own breakout rooms and chat for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's nice. I think that's really cool that they because they don't see each other that much. But they didn't.
Yeah, so in the beginning all of them would join, and then eventually it's just.
Your voice is fading. Yeah, for some reason I remember that for some reason like just only in the end you were speaking and suddenly your voice got like quieter.
Oh, I think the battery died.
But then suddenly the battery were back. And I'm like, huh?
Oh really?
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know technology. I mean, I'm learning a lot, still, like last year's Zoom versus this year's Zoom. Like the whole Zoom browser, the functions, they've changed quite a bit, settings, everything. So I've had to relearn that,
I got really upset with Zoom like last year. It was like just before we ended Zoom last year was when they updated it. Do you remember that? They
just at the end, right?
And so my problem was that afterwards it required more of your hardware. So it was, it's because before I could do everything and like everything like share everything and do whatever in the background, it was all fine. But now, as soon as I do anything in the background, it tells me like low system resources and like everything gets slower, it starts lagging. Only ever since that update, for some reason, whatever they changed now makes it require more RAM, more processor, and now like everything's just like it's annoying.
Actually, I've noticed that this time, just with the A3s, with the 3s and 4s, usually they're very good with Zoom. I mean, last year they had like what, 0 issues, okay, like maybe 1 or 2 issues, but that was like over 3 months, 3-4 months, and then this time it's only been what, 1.5, 2 months, and like Sophia, she couldn't change her profile photo, but she had to re-sign in, you know.
Yeah, there are some things, and people have like different versions on different devices, and you can't, but you're all on the same update. So like it's gotten really weird. It's true.
Yeah, I've noticed that like there's more like small issues. It's not like too big of an issue, but sometimes even with the whole like co-hosting with the teachers, it's like I can't share a mic, I'm a co-host, you know. So I've noticed like there's little glitches.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bugs in there now
with Zoom. So I was quite surprised with that. But I mean, I don't think there's anything that we can do. You know, it's more. And you know now, like you know how before it's just what I think. If it's one-on-one, it's unlimited time. Sorry, our recording, my camera died. Okay.
All right. So just to sum it off, what it essentially, what my critique last time was without sound. So I'm just going to sum it up. Essentially, it was all about, mostly about like your slides, like tidy up your slides, be more effective with your slide design. Maybe even just make sure to not have technical difficulties. Like you just sometimes can't control, but some things you can control just in the beginning. Set it up properly. Then just use.
This isn't properly? Or are you talking about hybrid class?
No, so like in that class we had there were some things with
the hybrid one.
No, it was this class where just like with sharing or something, but like it wasn't a big deal. They were just like, and then like people signing on and off, I think, and just like people like coming into lesson. It was
late.
Just,
oh yeah. That was with
confusing the lessons.
Yeah, that was
okay, so then never mind.
Because he was late, and then so then you took them when I went to call him and like push him to come on. Hurry up.
Okay, so never mind, wrong lesson.
Okay.
And but then like in like the same thing, like in the same realm of like the proper effective slides. Also just use the Zoom functions are more efficient. Like just only show a portion of your screen rather than showing just your entire screen. Rather than switching like zoom in and out. Also like because you can crop your screen. So that it was mostly about that. And then
starting with the rules.
Yeah, so
I keep like doing like a switch.
You only do that. I know that you only do that online. Usually, like in person, you never mix it up. In person, it's just like so ingrained already that it's always like it always is the way how it's supposed to be. But online, there's just because people sign in late and then there's so much stuff going on, it's just like you just confuse it, like mix it up a couple times.
Actually, I didn't even notice that until you mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then when I started like editing my videos and looking through my videos, I was like, yeah, I seem to do it consistently, even though you've told me, but I still do it. But I think maybe in my mind.
That's only an online phenomenon. You don't do it. You only do it online, never offline.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know. Okay.
So then.
Chat box utilizing.
Yeah. So exactly. So like you had some like writing activities, but like no like full sentence writing and just. But I also know obviously like you need to like create like time for that kind of activity. So it has to be like that kind of lesson too. Not every lesson obviously, especially online, has like a huge writing section.
And having one lesson for just the writing activity, right?
Yeah, like depending on the writing activity, you want to like make space and have like a lesson where you like give them more time, or like less action and more like white time of like writing.
I think that's also a little hard because like with the whole online thing, sometimes you get one student missing, you know. And so if I just focus too much on one thing, it's just like Jeffrey. If he misses out on writing, it's just like, oh my god. Like I have to find extra time for him because I know he will not do it. And the writing that he gives me, that he does by himself, is just like it's rushed.
Yeah.
And then review. When I'm reviewing, use keywords, pictures only.
Yeah, that's basically like in line with everything I said already about the slides. Yeah, and then so like exactly when you review, it's just basically like I said before, just like just show one picture. Like this is what we talked about. But only show a picture, maybe a picture that I already saw, and then just like quickly list the things verbally. You don't actually have to write down anything. Unless there are some big keywords that they like should remember, like maybe if they learn about like Earth Day, and you would like quickly throw the words like reduce, reuse, recycle, bam, nothing else, right? So just like one slide maybe with the symbol, the recycling symbol, and then reduce, reuse, recycle, bam, and then and everything else that you want to say, you say. You don't actually put on the slide because it's just a quick review. It's just to like refresh it in the memory.
Basically, slides keep it simple. Chat box, utilize it more. Writing activity, have one more lesson on just the writing activity. Just be prepared for technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And more pictures when reviewing, and use the screen portions.
Yeah, just like I think like a portion of the screen is just generally like I know it was specific to that lesson, but generally you could probably say just like try to use the functions that you have with your software effectively.
How do you find my class management? I know in a physical classroom you always tell me like I have great classroom management. But
much better than I do, yeah.
But like online though, like what's your most honest and objective feedback?
Well,
because you've seen me both online and in a physical classroom, in like a long-term sitting.
So I think so. Like I personally think that the class management in online classes is much different, right? Because if you have a really naughty student, you just click mute, right? So that's really what it is in its essence. Where in person class, you have to argue with that student, have to like talk to that person, and if they won't stop, like you have to figure out ways, but you don't have to do it online. So it's just like very different. So what classroom management then turns into is more like how do I keep everybody engaged? But I think that like every lesson that I saw, everything I've seen from you was really like worked really well. Like all the kids are obviously there are like a few ones that have like a bad day or a little bit lazy, it's late, whatever it is. But overall, like always working really well. And you're always like you make sure that everybody is like still there and focused.
I just feel like online classroom management is more difficult for me because sometimes when I call them, especially the older students, maybe not in these videos, they just don't respond, and you'll really have to sit through that awkward silence and force them to like reply to you or give you an answer or force them to keep their cameras on, and I really don't like that. But in person, you can just look at them and they feel bad, you know, and they want to go home, and then so they'll just kind of quickly listen to you and do whatever is needed to be done, you know, what you ask of them to do. For example, okay, pick up 5 pieces of trash in the classroom before you go as a consequence. But online, it's like they can literally just sign out, and then it's like, do I really want to tell on them to their parents after class? And then you have their parents be angry at them. It's just like a negative cycle.
Yeah, so I think so. Like that's how I view it. So like my perspective on that is a little different because in my mind, so I had that with like level 5 or 6.
Yeah, L5, L6.
Where
so
I think where I'm not sure where like I had this one really bad lesson where I got like really angry with the kids because like literally like 70% just wouldn't respond. They just sat there and then I just like sometimes just turned the camera off as I called their name. And then it just wouldn't get better. So like and I just like basically I told them like 2 or 3 times and explained to them why they're here. And that we don't have that much time anyways together, and that the time that we have they should be using. And if they think their English is already perfect and they can speak English just like the teachers, then that's cool. Then they can do whatever they want. But if they can't speak English like the teachers, then they should use their time effectively and try to at least focus and listen for the 30 minutes that we have. And then afterwards, I would just be like, okay, so like at this point, if you still don't want to, then I will just focus on the kids that are listening, and then I will just like not spend my time with like.
Being angry at them.
Right. I'm just going to be like, okay, Johnny, you're listening, so I'm going to talk to you, right? So I'm just going to refocus and not like be like negative about the entire situation, but because I can't just mute them. And if the parents complain, I'm going to be like, oh, but the kid is with you. What can I do, right? So you can be you're next to the child, not me. So I'm focusing on the kids that are interested in learning. That's like the big difference I think that I make online. Where like in an in-person classroom, I would spend some time because I mean there are actual real consequences. But online there aren't any, so I just focus on the kids who are willing to like stay with me.
Yeah, because last year I remember with like the few L5, L6 students, it's always the same few students. I'd just get really angry at them, and I think at the end you were also a little bit angry at them as well. And then in the end we were both like, okay, like let's just try and just ignore them. There's no point being angry at them. And I feel like once you change that attitude and mindset, it's a lot better. But then a part of me, you know, as like a responsible teacher, I kind of do feel bad that I feel like they're not reaching their potential, their full potential, you know, and I'm just like, what can I do to help them? So I feel like I still have this question, maybe just because our online classes are just so short. In terms of like it's 2 weeks, 1 week, you know, 1 month, 2 months, and then we're back to physical, and it's like another year, and then we're back online again for like 2 weeks or 1 week or something like that. So I mean, I don't know. No, that's just my feedback about online classes. But I mean, no online classes anymore.
For now. Let's see. Taiwan has been really good at just jumping back into
1920s. But yeah, I mean, I do also like online classes. I think it's also great for, you know, high achieving students. Like A3 and 4, there's some great apps and games that works with Zoom.
What I think is that there are some topics, some more interesting topics that are kind of like that are different from all the like generic ESL topics. So when like introduce even for A1 students, like introducing like a new topic or like reading the notes and then being able to watch a video like real quick together. So there are like. It's just also because of the presentation style. You have like slides. You can quickly jump between different media and like a game and then a picture and quickly Google a picture when the student says something. Be like, oh yeah, and then you quickly Google a picture.
And
like,
instantly.
So like and especially for introducing like a new topic, I actually think it's almost superior to in person.
Like
to in person. Then you have
traditional
like
book
then
and
you have like a board and then you have a quick idea and you can't do anything about it. You can pull out your phone and show everybody. Like,
but then it's
small. And then you have to like walk through the ranks
and
it's not great. So like having like 1 or 2 online classes and then having like a lesson that is tailored to online classes and a lesson that's tailored to in-person. Like for example, writing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense online. I feel like if everybody like have a big writing activity, like then everybody just sits there in silence together online and is typing for like 20 minutes. You don't really need to do that, and you can't really help them because you don't see what they're doing. So that makes sense in person. Like but like you kind of can, but like it's much
it's easier in person.
It's much better in person. Everybody sits at their table and you just quickly look and glance on what they're doing, and you can help them with just a little mistake real quick, and you can give them some ideas. It's much better. But then like just like really looking into like new exciting topics, like just like what was it like last summer, like the universe, and going to different ideas of the universe, showing all the different pictures. Like videos. To be able to prepare that in an in-person classroom, like
it takes a lot of effort.
like the amount of things you have to screened, and then you're still super inflexible. Like what if like one student has like a question, you can't look up a picture for them. So like especially when it goes like also into more abstract things, it's really great. So I think you should probably like it's best for the kids to do like a little bit of both.
Yes, I'm very excited about our next semester's classes because you know I planned for that kind of interaction where they get the best of the online and the best of the physical classroom, and then see how that goes. Because I think entirely online, I don't think it's a great idea. But entirely physical, I feel so limited in terms of what we can do as teachers.
After sitting there and trying to figure out how online works the best and just like completely abandoning it, sounds it feels like wasting all its potential. It's true.
Yeah. But okay, thank you, Teacher Marvin. I appreciate your time. And is there anything else?
No, I think that's it for today.
Yeah,